You have folders full of half-finished projects and notebooks overflowing with ideas. But when it comes time to actually bring them into the world, the engine sputters. The concepts are there, but the execution remains inconsistent. This bottleneck occurs when a highly individual creative mind tries to run on an industrial system. We take the rigid, linear expectations of a corporate 9-to-5 and attempt to force our chaotic workflows into those specific boxes. Many creators mistake this for discipline. In reality, forcing an unnatural routine generates constant, invisible friction, which typically leads to burnout. Creator Chittick developed the Mythic Intelligent Creator framework to address this specific misalignment. The process combines your internal story, the architecture of your identity, with your operational mechanics, resulting in inevitable expression, where work moves from concept to form. We now focus on the second half, your operational intelligence, how you actually function in the 3D world. This phase requires stripping away performative behaviors, the habits you adopted simply because they looked like productivity to the outside world. You have to diagnose exactly how you operate in the dark. Identifying your raw mechanics is the only way to build a creative engine that you can actually sustain. The calibration begins on day 8 with an observation of your decision-making, the engine room of your reality. You are looking for your default settings. Do you stall in a paralysis loop waiting for more data? Or do you rely on intuitive leaps that lack any structural backing? On day 9, you abandon the monolith of the standard workday to map your true energy cadence. For most creators, energy moves in spikes of intensity, followed by necessary voids. These flatlined recovery periods aren't signs of laziness. They are the soil where the next idea integrates. When you classify these off times as a functional requirement rather than a failure of discipline, you stop fighting your own biology. The friction of trying to work at a constant linear pace begins to drop away. Day 10 shifts the focus to sensory fuel. You ignore the big vision for a moment to identify the tactile triggers that keep you in the chair. These are the micro-ecstasies of the process. It might be the specific resistance of a certain pen on paper, a particular font, or the way light hits your desk at a specific hour. If it feels good, it functions as fuel. Day 11 identifies the inverse, the invisible leaks. These are the specific tasks or environments that leave you energetically bankrupt. Constant context switching or performative masking during meetings acts like a drain on the vessel. It physically tightens the stomach and quickly fades your creative signal. Managing creator energy is a practical equation. You have to intentionally prime your environment with microfuels while identifying and closing those energetic leaks. On day 12, you search for your native tongue, the organic method you use to get ideas out of your head. Whether you need a chaotic rush toward a deadline or a slow period of silence to produce 1 hour of work, this messy middle is a signature edge. It is how you actually work when the pressure is off. Day 13 introduces the Mythic Extension. This is where you use tools to move past the solitary struggle. You delegate repetitive administrative tasks to AI, automation, and digital platforms. The goal is to use technology as a digital loom that handles formatting and data while you focus on high-level expression. Day 14 is the midpoint integration. You consolidate these insights, your rhythms, sensory fuels, methods, and tools into a personal operating system. Mapping these ribs of your operation allows the work to move through the paths of least resistance. You aren't forcing a new external discipline. You are removing the obstructions from the one you already have. Day 15 serves as the bridge. You are moving from the internal study of your intelligence into the external reality of your output. The transition requires a ruthless perspective. All of your internal data gathering is effectively useless if it doesn't result in a physical product. To make the shift, you conduct a project audit. You open your someday folders and clear the waiting room of everything that is just taking up psychic space. You force every project down one of 2 paths. Option 1 is surgery. You commit to the final cut and set a hard deadline. Option 2 is the death certificate. You acknowledge it served its purpose and vary it, stopping the energy drain. Keeping work in progress forever is often just a way to avoid judgment. This binary choice forces you into the era of finished work. True mythic intelligence happens when your raw mechanics align with your identity. You stop searching for external methods and start relying on the structure that already exists within your own nature. Achieving this alignment removes the need to perform productivity. Instead of struggling to be a productive person, you simply focus on the specific work in front of you. If your current routine feels like a betrayal of your nature, stop forcing it. Start auditing your own operational mechanics.